Hi everybody, it's Doreen, and welcome back to day 13 of Christmas Cards with the Cricut. This is the card we'll be making today, so come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. Okay everybody, I'm going to bring up the supplies so we can get started on card number 13, and this time I do have the right date or the right card number up here. I can't believe I did that whole video the other day for number 12 and I still had number 11 on my sign. But we are on day 13, so let's go ahead and bring up the supplies. Now, I got this idea for this card watching another YouTuber, and actually I took two of her videos to come up with my card that I'm going to be showing you how to do. And her name is Janice, and her YouTube channel, I wrote it down because I want to make sure I get it right. It's Cricutologist 32820. Now what I'm going to do is put a link up here in the video to the two videos that I watched to come up with my card. And she does have a blog. It's cricutology.blogspot.com, and she does some really unique cards, and I really like her channel. So now the card comes from the Wild Card cartridge, so you don't have to do any measuring with your paper trimmer unless you want to go ahead and cut this out. But the window was already cut out using that particular cartridge. And the card itself is on page 34, and it's this, they're calling it square right here. And I cut that out at 5.5 inches, and I also cut out the liner, which is right here, and I cut that at 5.5 inches, and then I also cut out the frame at 5.5 inches. So now on your gypsy, and you don't have to have the gypsy to do this particular card, but you know, I always use my gypsy. That way I can design and take out and put in whatever I want. So let's go ahead and go to the Wild Card cartridge, and that is going to be key number 3, and it looks like this. So that's for the card itself, and then you're going to hit the liner button and key 3 to get your liner, and then you'll hit the frame button. Let me make sure I get the right one. Which is right here, and that's your frame. So then you're going to cut all of that out at 5.5 inches. So let's go ahead and start putting our card together. So now here is my frame that I have cut out at 5.5 inches, and I have gone ahead and inked it with the new winter collection. This is the Ice Spruce by Tim Holtz. And the other thing that I've done is, and this is where I've got the second idea from Janice, watching another one of her videos, is I went ahead and put the snowflakes that I rubber stamped using some of the Stampin' Up! Whisper White, and this is the craft ink. This isn't the regular, I guess those are water-based inks, but this one is the craft. If you don't have this, you can go ahead and just use some white paint on your rubber stamp. So I went ahead and inked up my stamp with the white craft ink, and then I stamped them down on some acetate. And this piece of acetate is actually from one of the plastic containers that my Cricut cartridge came in. So, like I say, don't throw anything away. You can always use it for something. And then once I had them all stamped out, I then took this Designer Dust by Trichem, and the color is Cool Blue. Now I've had this for almost 10 years, if not longer. I don't know if this company even exists anymore. But it's actually just glitter. And I just sprinkled it all the way across, all over where I stamped with the white craft ink. So now what I want to do is, I want to go ahead and tape this on the back of my paper. And if I didn't say, which I'm sure I didn't, the paper, this paper right here is from this Can Company paper pack. It's a Brenda Walton, and I picked this up at Tuesday morning, and it was actually $1.99 for 50 sheets, and they are double-sided. So it looks like this, and it also has some tags in here as well. So, and I got this, I believe it was last year, because I did make some cards using that cardstock last year. So now, we're gonna flip this over, and I want to go ahead and tape this down on here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use my Tombow for this and get some tape going all the way across here. And I only cut this at 2 1/4 inches, and I probably should have cut it a little bit wider, maybe 2 1/2, because I needed to, I also need to decide which side I want to be the, which I want to be the top and bottom. So I think I'm going to do it this way. So let me go ahead and flip this over, and I want to make sure I get this even. I didn't leave myself enough room to have tape over here on the side, on this side, on each side, but I left enough room for tape on the top and bottom. So if you're going to make this, I would say cut this at your acetate at 2 1/2, or maybe 2 5/8. So you have enough room to tape it down to the side here. And then the length is going to be your 5 1/2. And as you can see, if you're using glitter, it gets everywhere. So I think we'll still be okay, because I'm actually going to have this taped down here on top of my card, like so. So now the bottom, my card itself, the cardstock is from this holiday collection. It's a DCWV. There's 48 sheets in here, and this cardstock is glitter and just regular cardstock. It looks like that. So I'm going to zoom back a little bit, because I think I'm just a little too close. Oh, I think I've zoomed back as far as I can go. So let's go ahead and add this to my card. So I'm going to line this up, and then I'm just going to go ahead and start getting some tape on the back of here. And I'm going to use my Tombow again to add this layer. Let's see here, to the card. So now I'm not going to get any tape going across my piece that has my snowflakes on it. Just over here on this side, and then on the edge. So now we can go ahead and add this to the card, like so. And then I'm just going to run my hand all the way across. And I'm not adding any ribbon, so I should be okay. Okay, so now, we'll get some of this glitter out the way. We're ready to add the frame. And I've gone ahead and cut the frame. And this is also glitter paper. And this is some scraps that I had left over from a previous card that I worked on. So we need to line that up about right there. So now I'm going to go ahead and get some glue on my two-way zig pen. And this should stick. If not, I may have to run it through my Xyron, because even though that the glitter, there's no glitter on the actual side that I'm gluing for the frame, there is the glitter from the cardstock, from the card itself. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can do this and make sure that it sticks down. So I'm going to go ahead and add my frame. And then I'm just going to press down with my finger. And I'm going to just keep going all the way across and down. And it looks like I may have to run this through the Xyron. The two-way zig pen might not hold it. But I'm going to go ahead and press down for just a little bit longer. And we'll see if it stays. If it looks like it's coming up, then I am going to go ahead and run it through the Xyron. And it looks like it's trying to stay. So let me go ahead and get out my Xyron machine and then run my frame through the Xyron machine. And then I'll be back and we'll finish adding our embellishments to the card. Okay, everybody, so now I'm back, and I did go ahead and run my frame through the Xyron machine, and it seems to be staying on there a lot better using that. So now let's go ahead and finish adding our embellishments. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and add is I've gone ahead and made this ornament to add to the card, which I'm going to place right here, and I am going to pop this up with some foam tape as soon as I can find my foam tape. Okay, I've got my foam tape, so let's go ahead and talk about where the ornament is from. The ornament is also from the Christmas cartridge, and I don't have a handout. As I've said before, this was a free download last year. If you purchase your Gypsy within a certain amount of time, you got to download the cartridge to your Gypsy. And I believe that this cartridge is no longer available as far as purchase it in the store. You might be able to find it on eBay or find it somewhere on the Cricut website. Or you can ask somebody, if you really like the ornament that has the cartridge, maybe they'd be willing to cut it out for you. So now I've gone ahead and cut this out at 3 3/4 inches. And let's bring that up on the Gypsy. So let's go to the Christmas cartridge. And it is key number 23, and it looks like this for the overlay. And then you're going to hit your blackout feature and hit key 23 again. So now what I did to get it to look like this is I cut it out. I first cut the top layer out using some cream color cardstock. And then my bottom layer was some scraps that I had left over from the cardstock that I picked up at Joann's. It is the Paper Studio paper pack is what it is. And it's that real thin cardstock that I've talked about before, that I've said that I've had trouble cutting on the Cricut. However, I noticed that I can cut larger images and I don't have a problem. It's when you try to cut the intricate, like I would never use that cardstock to cut these intricate type cuts. This was some Recollections cream color cardstock. And then once I had it cut out, I then went ahead and once again I used my adhesive to go ahead, and then I added the glitter, or the designer dust is what it's called, the cool blue. And I just shook that and sprinkled it all over. Now the adhesive that I am referring to looks like this, and it's by Krylon. And I use this whenever I'm going to use my glitter. To me, I find this is a lot easier than trying to use glue. I just spray this on whatever I want the glitter to stick to. So now the glitter does also sometimes come off, like it has done here. But on this one, I actually used the rubber stamp ink. So it doesn't come off as much when I use that spray adhesive. So now let's go ahead and get some foam tape on here, because you know I like to have my things pop up. I just think it makes add so much to the card when you do this. So we'll add another piece. Cut that off just a little bit so you don't see that corner edge there. I just want to make sure, and I'm just going to bend this just a little bit, and then I'm ready to add that to the card. So let's get the tape backing off. And then we can go ahead and add this to our card. And I'm just going to line it up and add it right there. So now let's go ahead and embellish our ornament. So what I've got to embellish the ornament is I've gone ahead and made a little bow using my Bow Easy. And I do have a tutorial out there on how to use the Bow Easy. And this ribbon was actually white. I didn't have any ribbon the color that I was looking for. So what I did to get this color was I took my Copic marker, this is the Cool Shadow, and my airbrush system and compressor, and I just colored in the ribbon the color I wanted. So I'm going to place my ribbon right there. So I'm going to just get some glue on here with my glue gun, and I'm going to add my ribbon right there. And then the other thing I'm going to go ahead and add is I picked up these little stars, or snowflakes rather, and these are also buttons. So I've cut off the shank using my wire cutters, and then I've taken my Dremel tool and sand down the back so that it lays flat. And I'm just going to add that right there. So I'm going to get some glue on here, and then I'm just going to add the snowflake right there at the top. And then I want to just put a couple more snowflakes on here. So I'm going to put one over here in this corner and one in this corner. Or actually, I'm going to move one over to there and one over there. So let's go ahead and get some glue on the back of here, and we'll place one snowflake up there in the corner, and then we'll go ahead and place the other snowflake in the other corner. So now the other last embellishment, well, almost last, because you know there's something else that I have to add to the card, is I've gone ahead and taken my stamp and stamped out the word Noel. And I don't know if the camera will pick this up or not, but I went ahead and used some embossing ink to ink out or spell out the word Noel. And then I took my Zing embossing powder, and this color is called Glacier. And I picked this up at, actually, Hobby Lobby. It was on the clearance rack. So, and then I've taken my oval punch by Stampin' Up. It's, sorry for the glare. Looks like this. And just punched out the word Noel. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this. I initially, when I was designing this card, I had this down here at the bottom. But I think what I want to do is put it up here in this corner, like so. Or do I really want to keep it at the bottom? No, I think it's going to go up here at the top. Maybe not at an angle. I think maybe I won't add it at all. No, it's got to go somewhere. I took the time to do it, so I think I should put it on the card somewhere. I just don't know where I'm going to place it. So this one I'm going to have to think about, but you'll see where I decided to add it, or if I decided to add it at all, at the end of the video, when I take the pictures and show the finished card. So for now, I'm just not going to put it anywhere until I decide where I want it to go. So now, my final thing to add, you know, of course, is gotta have the bling. Can't make a card without having the bling, unless it's for a male. Then, okay, no bling. So I am just going to place some crystals right here. Just 3 little crystals. And line them up. And these are self-adhesive ones. These are the ones that I picked up on that big CHA haul. And these tweezers work really good for picking up the crystals, which I picked up at my local state fair, so I don't even know the name of the people that sell those tweezers or where you can get them, but they look like this. And next year when our state fair comes, I'm going to have to pick me up a few more. So that's it, everybody. This is card number 13 of the Christmas cards with the Cricut. Thanks for watching, everybody, and come back. We'll be doing day 14. Bye.